So, they wanted me to give a little backstory on why they chose me to do it. And Austin, I met Scarlett first. Actually, she was been almost 10 years ago now. She started coming to the church that we were going to, and I was teaching youth there, and she started coming on Wednesday nights and hanging out. She was this little quiet, petite little girl, and I mean, she never spoke a word. She just kind of sat there, and she was very quiet. I cannot tell you how much I missed those days. No.
Oh, baby.
We had an amazing time. So I met Austin a few years later. He played music, I play music, so we kind of had that quick bond. And so Austin started coming to youth, and I would like to think that I was matchmaker, but I wasn't. I played a small part, and then I just gave him the venue to meet, and of course God played a huge hand in it. So I just am very thankful to the two of you for allowing me to share this with you today. So I would like to start out by saying thank you. This is obviously a little less traditional than a normal wedding. We decided to go a less traditional route because I've never done this before, they've never done this before, so we didn't know how tradition would work. So we're kind of bouncing some ideas around on how to, what to say and how to say it. And we were riding in the car the other day, and Michael made a statement that I should talk about how they work together because of their passive aggressiveness. I said, Michael, that's usually not a good thing. He said, it works really well because Austin is passive and Scarlett's aggressive. I'm not going to go that route. I'm going to leave that part out of it. So if we can edit that out of the video, that would be awesome. But I sat them both down, and I asked them both a very straightforward question and told them that they weren't allowed to tell each other the answer. This is the first time they're hearing what each other said about them. So I said, what is it about the other person that you love that nobody else gets to see? I want to know why you love them like you do. So here's the answers that you got. Scarlett, let's first speak to you. Austin gave some very cliche answers about your personality and how funny you are, and then I kind of made him dig deep. And what he said was very interesting. He told me that you were the backbone in every situation, no matter how big or small, that you kind of keep things together, and you kind of keep people going, and keep people motivated, which over the past few days I've gotten to see firsthand. It's been amazing. You really have a very good way of making sure people know what they're doing and be motivated and kind of get on the right track. So, Austin, Scarlett told me that you are probably the most caring and thoughtful person she's ever met because of your willingness to be able to jump into action and do whatever needs to be done when it needs to be done. Don't ask questions, don't think about yourself first. Now, what's amazing to me is they both gave me an example of a time when they used this, and without knowing, they gave me the exact same example, but from both ends of the spectrum. And when they gave me the story, I knew that this was it. They both spoke about a very difficult time that they went through together with Scarlett's brother passing away. And Austin talked about family and how the family had to lean on Scarlett. And he had no clue that it was everything that he did was what gave her the ability to be that backbone. And it reminds me of a passage in 2 Corinthians that talks about, Paul writes that we are not to be unequally yoked. So if there's a thing that is unequally yoked, there's a thing that's equally yoked. And if you don't understand how this works, the way a yoke works is two animals get bound together. And they have a job to do, and they have to move at the exact same time, in the exact same direction, at the exact same pace. Because if one tries to pull, the other one can't keep up. And if one decides to sit down, the other one's got to sit down. They have to stay together. In this analogy, y'all are the animals. This marriage, through God, is real. After hearing the story, there is no doubt in my mind that this is real. So, at this time, I would like to make it legal. Alright, here's your talking. Y'all ready for this? Austin, you will place this ring on the third finger of Scarlett's left hand. We've had to go over this a few times. Please repeat after me. I choose you, Scarlett Abigail Holt, to be my wife. As my friend and the love of my life, I will be yours in plenty and in want, in sickness and in health, in failure and in triumph. Together we will dream and live as one, while respecting one another. We will stumble but restore each other. We will share all things. I will cherish, comfort, and encourage you. Stay with you as long as I shall live. Scarlett, take this ring, place it on the third finger of Austin's left hand. There's not enough practice for these things. Repeat after me. I choose you, John Austin Statham, to be my husband. As my friend and the love of my life, I will be yours in plenty and in want, in sickness and in health, in failure and in triumph. Together we will dream and live as one, while respecting one another. We will stumble but restore each other. We will share all things. I will cherish, comfort, and encourage you. Stay with you as long as I shall live. So now comes the point where they have to wait on me to say that they can kiss, and I told them I was going to make them wait for a little while. I could not be more proud to